Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Onward Master League. My name is TFH with a swear word in the middle. I am joined by my co-host, Xandria, whose name is spelled completely normal. How you doing?
Doing pretty good. So far, so good. I'm not.
Oh yeah,
yet.
especially with the apocalypse going on in the world right now, the plague.
Yeah,
It can be a little difficult at times. Why we try to get these little broadcasts going to you, giving you a little bit of normality in your life, something to look forward to, something to enjoy, and to keep your mind off of the impending doom to us all. We have Rome versus G-Men tonight. It's gonna be a good one. Both teams are pretty aggressive, wouldn't you say?
I would definitely.
Yeah, we've seen
agree
some
with that.
pretty crazy stuff. G-Men are not the most aggressive team, but they know when to bring that level of aggression to the playing field, and they're really good at using that and bringing that momentum into the game to kind of drive the push toward the objective or even on Volk. Without further ado, we're going to go into our bans because it looks like that we're getting the lobby filled up here pretty quickly. Xandria, what have you got for me today?
So Rome, our home team, banning Cargo. They have a 50% round win. G-Men having a 58% round win. G-Men's banning Snowpeak with a 67% round win. And I believe Rome has a 37% round win. So a little bit convoluted on the bans from a purely statistic point of view.
The bans kind of become a little bit more on the side of like, what do we feel comfortable on? What do we not feel comfortable on? And we see the Snowpeak ban come out on teams that are going to play that as a wild card. Like they practice Snowpeak and they feel relatively comfortable on it. They probably don't know every single nook and cranny about it, but they feel good enough to be able to take it to a competitive level and use the other team's ill preparedness as an advantage.
That definitely is the thing that the numbers just would not.
Yeah,
show.
well, speaking of things that the numbers do not show, we are on Suburbia for our first map, but there's a bit of a plot twist to it, isn't there?
Yeah, it's the night
Ooh,
version.
spooky. Yeah,
Especially that flickering street light on the north street. Like,
yeah. Don't go there if you get seizures. Like, it's a bad time. But there's a whole change up to the meta when it comes to these night maps, isn't there?
yeah, absolutely. It seems like on almost all the night maps, like what was light is now dark, and what it was dark is now light. So it kind of flips at 180 of like what is good cover and what isn't.
And it really messes up with the pathfinding. You try to remain as hidden as possible, whether you're on Marsoc or on Volk, but suddenly places where you could hide before, like the insides of houses, for instance, just don't become possible because they're the most well-lit areas on the map. So you kind of have to find new areas to hide in, new places to kind of try to sneak around, try to ambush the attacking team if possible, or to the defending one if your defense is pretty aggressive. But we're still waiting on the final member of G-Men to come in. We'll go through the lineup as is for now. On Rome's side with 5 members, we have Gladiator, William Dunce, Lucky AF, Man Bear Pig, and Big Mike. On the G-Men side, we got Poopachu, the Man, Zach Fontaine, and Brass to Mouth. And an opening. Your name here. You could be a member. Oh no, they actually just picked up a member, didn't they? They did just pick up Keija, so there's definitely some. G-Men are kind of putting themselves on the shield work there. They already have the Man, who's been very capable on the shield. Probably one of the best shield players in the game as of right now. He's the Man on the shield. But we will have a Miracle Dev as the 5th member, the former SMC / former Mayhem / former Stone Cold Killers. He's been around a bit. Just a little. But hopefully we'll have these rounds coming to us very shortly here. Our first objective is going to be the North Red Car objective. Kind of lends itself a little bit to the Volk defense. Good time for G-Men to pick up a first win. And be able to kind of set the tone for the match.
Yeah, I always find these northern objectives to be the more difficult ones.
Yeah, I personally like the south objectives a little bit more because you have the middle house to kind of set up a little bit of a basin, kind of plan an approach, and it just lends itself to more cover. Whereas on the north side, you have to go through those lanes, and after that, you're on your own.
Right, and you're just out in the open, and people could be anywhere. I mean, there's 100 different little spots you could hide, and it's just so hard to clear all of those without dying.
The north side really does lend itself to the Volk defense because there's not many places for Marshak to hide. You kind of emerge and get a red carpet welcoming of bullets right there, and it becomes a little bit of a puzzle per se on these north side objectives, especially with the lanes are pretty, the callouts on this are probably some of the most well-refined callouts in the game because the map has basically been broken down into 4 lanes, with each lane kind of having its own little features. Like we got Humvees, playground, you got middle house, you got pool, you got APC, turned over truck. I mean, the map basically just, the callouts describe the map, and the map describes itself. So, I think this is a great map to start off on, and to be able to set the tone as well of this entire matchup.
Yeah, a lot of times the first map can kind of set the playing field. If you get absolutely devastated on the first map, sometimes it's hard to come back from that. Of course, these teams, I'm sure, don't have trouble with that.
Yeah, and these teams definitely have been around for a very long time. I think Rome kind of first emerged Season 4. G-Men have been playing since Season 1, so either you've been playing half of the entire Onward competitive leagues, lifetime, or you've been playing the entire one. Either way, this map has been here ever since the beginning, and it's definitely been a staple of league play.
So I was just looking inside the garage of what they're working on there, and there's plans for a ship on the workbench. You ever notice?
Take a look at that. I wonder if it's the tanker.
No,
it's a
looks
sailboat.
Like
it's a sailboat, yeah.
Yeah. Nice, refreshing beverage.
Oh yeah, no, it's definitely whoever.
I'm sorry, I'm getting really ADD. I gotta
whoever lived in that that garage house, definitely had quite a personal life until his house became a war zone and Volk military base.
All right, it sounds
about
like we're dropping
time.
Into it.
All right. We're finally in on it. G-Men will defend for the first round. Rome look like they're going to push pretty heavily. They're actually going to split up. They're going to split up. They just opted to go out on one lane.
Some defensive smokes already coming out.
And we're going to have Man Bear Pig on the shield with Gladiator on the drone. I don't think there's anything else he would do.
I don't think that drone's long for this world.
Pikachu's on that red card, the one that's not on the objective but behind. He's going to try to defend the house from far back. But I think the push is really coming down lane 1.
Yeah, I think I see a few people splitting off lane 3, lane 4, but it does look like Rome's going to take...
an amazing nade to start it off from Zach. Brass is gonna be able to get that get a pick on a man bear as well. But man, that nade to start it off.
Yeah, he is only down, though.
The res can come out, but it's gonna be a very risky one. I think he's better off just giving out callouts.
Yeah, there's nobody really over there.
Look at this C4 going off. It goes off a little early. Had the right idea, though. There are 3 members of Rome all in that vicinity. Just waiting to be spotted, but they're kind of actually bringing the slow play this time. A little bit slower than I thought we would see. Brass will be able to find William.
Yeah, kind of giving his position away there. That was a very strong position, but
yeah.
not so
Oh,
much.
the nade is bad for Big Mike. He's able to get out of there just in time. He accidentally bounced it off one of those concrete blocks, but flash is going to come out from Brass. It's going to be probably pretty good onto Lucky, but he doesn't act on it, which means that the effects will wear off before Brass to Mouth can take fullest advantage of Lucky's blindness. I think he's using it actually to buy him time.
Does look like that did open it up for that res. Pikachu getting res.
Yeah, so now G-Men are back up to a 5 crew. Brass to Mouth has got the shield. And I don't know how well of a shield player Brass is, but he's such a good player that I wouldn't be surprised if he's not even effective on it. He's able to find Gladiator. Get that confirm. And now Rome are just 2. It's going to be Lucky versus Brass right now. Lucky's going to get the better off of that one. Shield's back in neutral territory. And Big...
I wonder if we'll see Lucky pick
I
that
wonder.
up and use
I
it.
don't... Rome has been pretty shield friendly as a team as well. They have William Dunson, Man Bear Pig. Both very, very talented shield players. And it looks like, yeah, Lucky's going to be taking that shield as well for himself. So they've definitely been practicing the shield strats. They do know how to play. They do have the information and, you know, the know-how on how to properly use that.
It does look like Lucky decided to kind of make a hard rotation all the way around the map here.
Yeah, he's choosing to double up with Big Mike, you know. When in doubt, double up, and they're gonna need that as G-Men are currently 4 strong. They're starting to make their little approach here, tag teaming it up.
Yeah, they definitely have their work cut
Oh,
out for
but
them.
the
2 versus
C4 is
4.
gonna be able to find Lucky with the shield. Now it's all up to Big Mike.
Yeah, he was right on the outer edge of the blast radius on that, but was able to
It's
get
so
caught.
important as a shield person to be looking out for that C4, to look for the signs that something just isn't right. You know, the attention to detail with smaller maps is just so crucial because there's one C4 can control an entire lane.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you stack up there, I mean,
We do know that Brass to Mouth already used one C4 and obviously the one that was used on this side, so no more, you know, special utilities coming out from G-Men as we know, unless they have some Molotovs in store, but I don't think they really need too much to be able to take down Big Mike with 4 people strong right now.
Yeah, I wonder if they have an accurate kill count. I mean, I wonder if he even knows that that's
Yeah,
what he's up against.
I don't see any reason why the kill count would be wrong. There were no weird trades. Brass wasn't able to get Lucky, so there wasn't like a non-radioed call out if that is the case. So I think G-Men are just, you know, waiting the timer out. Big Mike's only got 47 seconds left, so time's against him. He's able to dodge Zach Fontaine's shots there. But now G-Men know exactly where this last member is. They're still opting to hold their ground, though. They're not going to give him a weak spot for him to kind of sneak up and get in. Rome are really good on those sneak caps. That's the last thing G-Men want to be able to do. Big Mike has no option but to try to make his way onto the objective. He's going to be caught out by Zach Fontaine. And G-Men will take round 1.
Yeah, I really think this is kind of going to be really setting the tone for the entire match. I think this is kind of what we're going to see.
Yeah, it's actually a bit of slower play here coming out from Rome. It's almost as if we've kind of seen them adapt their strategy to a bit more of a G-Man kind of style offense.
I mean, I'm looking at the leaderboard now. G-Man's second in North America, and Rome is 10th. So I mean, they know
the odds are stacked against them. Yeah, the odds are definitely stacked against them. I don't even know what the matchup like ratings are. It's probably Master versus what, Gold? Gold versus Diamond. Wow, and they're second in America. That's we've seen some.
Oh, correction. Master.
Okay.
Versus,
yeah.
Gold.
So
yeah,
Master versus Gold. Okay, I was wondering if Rome was Gold or Diamond. I wouldn't be surprised with either, quite honestly. I think they're kind of in the staple of a Gold or Diamond team. Kind of, you know, top tier Gold, lower tier Diamond. I think it's very fitting for Rome and their skill level, and that's not an insult at all. Being a Diamond tier team is definitely an accomplishment to take on. But getting a matchup against G-Man, dang, that's gotta be a rough one.
Either way, we are dropping into our second round.
And we're gonna hang out with G-Man off the spawn. The man will be bringing the shield. We're going to see what kind of spread they have straight out the get-go. Pikachu's going to fondle on his reload a little bit. Bit of pre-fire coming out from Rome. They're going to try to spread out their defense, kind of like G-Man did before. I think it's a little bit more biased toward lane 1 this time than we saw before.
Yeah, they definitely have 2 stacked up there. It does seem like the majority of the force is coming down lane.
Yeah, and being able to stack up 2 people against the shield is definitely the optimal strategy. One-on-one with the shield, you kind of have the odds stacked against you. But if you can get another guy to flank around the shield while the shield's occupying one of them, you could definitely get the odds swinging in your favor.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the shield's kind of a unidirectional defense. You know, if you can get somebody 90 degrees off to the side, there's nothing they can do. They have to look at one.
And I think Rome are very aware of the fact that the man almost solely goes with the shield, and I haven't really seen him play without it recently. It's almost like Gladiator with the drone.
Yeah, right. I mean, you find something that works, and
the shield is so great for being able to expose enemy positions. Like, why wouldn't you use it for that? You can just ease it up a bit, you know. You can ease into the enemy defense, try to find where they are at. I think Big Mike has a good opportunity to be able to take out the man, though, given the man's orientation. The man's a little bit more worried about lane 1.
Yeah, it looks almost like Big Mike's just sort of hiding and trying to stay out of play until the right moment.
A couple of nades going on. It's going to be Smokes trying to cover a rotation, I believe.
A little short with that frag there.
Oh, and a big nade's going to come out. Oh, it's a little too high, so it won't be able to find the majority of the G-Men defense. The push is coming out now at the 3-minute mark, or 3.5-minute mark. And Big Mike's going to see the shield first. This is the perfect chance for Lucky to try to go for that rotation, but it looks like G-Men have got that covered. Nade or Flash goes out. And Brass is going to be able to find Man Bear Pig. Bringing the odds a little... go ahead.
Nope.
Bringing it a little bit more into G-Men's favor. And Brass is able to find William as well. That's 2 members of Rome down, all on lanes 4 and 3. But now the heavy hitters coming on through lane 1. And we are seeing this the shield being used for information here. The man's using callouts. Lucky might have a good opportunity to find the man here if he just angles it just right, and he will. So that will shut that down. But now his position has been exposed. Big Mike will be able to find Zach Fontaine. He's just gonna try to keep Lucky occupied. He's a little busy himself as Big Mike is just holding such a great angle.
Yeah, Big Mike caught Pubichu in the ankle.
Yeah, underneath the Humvee is such a crucial spot to be looking for. Miracle Dev's able to find Big Mike and shut that down. Lucky AF's going to try to look for that refrag. He's not going to be successful doing that. Now he's pinched by a Miracle Dev and Pubichu. Only 2 members of Rome left. He is so far off of objective now. Lucky goes down. It's all up to Gladiator to defend the objective from 3 G-Men. We were talking about the Volk advantage before, but G-Men are going to go up a second point as Bress cleans it up.
Yeah, G-Men, they showed so much patience there, just sort of inching in that lane 1 push and just, you know, figuring out where the defenders were and picking them off one by one. That was a great coordinated effort on the side.
Yeah, being able to have that information on your side is definitely a crucial thing to be able to manipulate if you're on the attacking team, because Volk, especially on night maps, are really good at hiding because of their dark uniforms and whatnot, you know. So being able to use the shield, which is basically like a drone but better, because for the most part it's indestructible unless you get that angle around it, to be able to identify the positions of each individual player and then kind of making a game plan off of it right off the get-go is just so helpful.
Yeah, absolutely. And G-Men really used it to its fullest potential.
Now this is Rome's map pick. If I am not mistaken, the G-Men are excelling very well on this. We're going to have another north objective for our second round here. For our second objective, I should say. We've already had our second round, but... Onward terms are weird, man. I don't know. English is hard. Enough English class. We're going to hop into round 3. Looks like we're going to have a little bit of a spread from the G-Men. Actually kind of opting to have more of their force away from objective than on. Interesting strategy. Typically, you kind of see more people biased toward the objective. Brass is going to try to chuck a C4. Won't be able... Did he just take down the C4 with the drone? I don't know. I'm sorry. Did he take down the drone with the C4? But I don't know. That timing was just too perfect. And now it looks like Rome's going to bias toward lane 4. Try to work their way up the long way. Man Bear Pig will be bringing the shield this time. Poopchu will be able to find Lucky. And Big Mike's going to try to shoot through the smoke to see if he can get a pick. Brass is going to be able to find Gladiator. On lane 1 side, the man's able to find Big Mike. And now Man Bear Pig is on his own. And he's the last remaining member of Rome. And a Miracle Dev will just shut that down.
Yeah, I was kind of watching lane 1, and Gladiator tried going in for the cap, but he had kind of ran right by. I believe it was Brass the Mouth, and after Brass the Mouth got, you know, recovering from his flash, he quickly realized what was going on. And
wow, that's actually a pretty mean strat. We kind of shifted over to lane 4 for a bit there. I didn't even see that happen, but if that is true, if what you're saying is true, that means Rome is using 4 members of their team as kind of a diversion. And just trying to, and using just Gladiator on his own to try to sneak that cap in. But that got shut down because, as we always know, Brass to Mouth is just always bringing his top game.
Yeah, and he did there for sure. I'm actually really surprised Gladiator ran by him.
Yeah.
I mean, after flashing it. Bit of a missed opportunity there. He probably would have gotten it if he hadn't made that slight mistake.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little harder to recognize where, you know, the enemy players are on this map because everything around you is really dark. Obviously, when we're casting here, we have the highlights and the flashlight if we use it, and it makes everything seem oh so clear, but in game, there's a fog of war.
Right, absolutely.
I think it's actually one of the things that really make Onward great is because it really does make the fog of war like something in your head. It's not directly modeled into the game, but it just happens. The human element is a huge factor.
Yeah, because I mean, VR is so immersive that sometimes you kind of forget that it is just a game. You know,
Yeah, it's just a game, bro. It's just a game. The most common like excuse term. It's more than just a game. It's a community. It's a community, and my life. But that all. my lack of social life aside, we're jumping into round 4 now. And we're kind of seeing a very similar strat, a lane 1 push coming out of G-Man. This is a lot more direct than what we saw in the previous Marsoc round from G-Man.
And Rome did throw a C4 out lane 1, but it kind of went outside the map a little bit. I don't think it would be effective.
Oh, the C4 will go off from Gladiator. I think he thought that was a lot closer than it was. A nade's going to come out. It is perfect. It was incredibly well placed. The res can come out, but G-Men just have that side locked down. I don't think it's happening.
Yeah, I mean, they would have to cross, and I don't think there's any way to do that.
Yeah, they put out 4 people. A flash goes out a little. Oh, this nade might be good too. Oh, it's just a little short. It could have caught out all the G-Men. But there's just a little bit more hot sauce out there. We could see a turn of the tables. Now the play.
A little
bit of a lull, yeah. The shots are ringing out again. Now it's more just pre-fire. Nothing really precision just yet. Gladiator can still hear all these people. I don't know if he can see them, but this will definitely be
kind of like Big Mike's position here, kind of becoming one with the bush.
Tree hugger. Wow, yeah, that's actually pretty good. Not a wall, so pretty good. Brass is able to get that confirm going. William Dunce is able to find a Miracle Dev, though. Rome's first kill. Now we're into a 4v4. And Lucky's actually able to find Zach. Almost shutting down their flank. Lucky's in a great position to flank if we take a look at the map really quick. Brass is able to find William Dunce as well. Rome is kind of teetering off here. We're into a 3v3 situation here. Remember,
yeah, it does kind of look like
G-Men are looking to close out map 1 here and now. Rome are looking just to stay in it to fight another round. But the flank is coming in now from Lucky. The man has rotated back.
Yeah, they all kind of rotated back, and Lucky went down the middle, so he's going to kind of run in front of the offense here.
Yeah, he's completely cut off. Oh, no! The communication failed! After the very clean pick onto Breast and Mouth, Big Mike was not aware of this flank coming in. And now we're down into a 2v2. This could have been Rome's advantage, but oh, that is tragic. That is very tragic.
Yeah, he's going to hear it.
I think he had these night maps, man, they can sometimes really confuse you, especially with the night vision on. You don't see the uniforms as clearly as you do in a day map, and so that can become a huge factor.
Absolutely. I mean, communication is key all the time, but especially on night maps. And he was running out of that smoke too, so I mean, it makes
a simple
sense, right?
one down lane 1, or that'd be lane 1, can be. Oh, Poopachu almost does the same. Wow, what is going on here? I don't think either of these teams are ready for a night map.
I mean, they were kind of all running around a little bit chaotic. You wouldn't expect your teammates to be coming out of the positions they
It's
were.
good to
I
radio your
suppose.
rotations and radio your intentions to your team so they know exactly, you know, they have a good mental image of the battle plan in their head, what's going on, you know. Okay, if I die, I'm the last one on objective and my teammate is off, you better run back if I die. So keep checking your tablet, or just at least check your tablet to see where your teammates are. But man, just this is getting crazy with the team killing.
And this is some pretty good trigger control here from Big Mike. I mean, he was looking right at the shield, but didn't fire because he didn't have
No,
a shot.
a lot of top tier teams now know when they see the shield is just to wait for the shield to make a mistake, wait for him to expose a body part, and then fire. But the man might do it again. Oh, Mike's not able to get a good shot just yet, but the man doesn't see him. I think Mike's more worried about Poopachu at this point.
As
Yeah,
he should be.
I think he's very aware of Poopachu's position. He is.
I mean, because he's got good concealment, but he has
smoke's
no
coming
cover.
out from Poopachu, facilitating a cap if possible. Man Bear Pig rotates on. He takes a shot. Poopachu's able to clear that out. Now the man is on objective. Big Mike has to rotate right now. He's doing exactly that, but Poopachu will shut it down, and G-Men will 4-0 on map 1.
I mean, he might have been able to hold off a little bit on that shot and gotten the cap, but I mean, either way, they did get the map.
We just had a 30-minute map 1. This was Rome's pick. Now we go into G-Men's pick. I think it's going to be Downfall if I know G-Men O2L. Yeah, let's take a look at our map bans. G-Men did ban Snow Peak, though, so maybe they are opting away from those long-range maps like Downfall. Could see a bit of Quarantine, kind of get that nice little, you know, middle ground. Have elements of, you know, both ends of a long range and a short range map kind of mixed in an all-in-one.
Yeah, I could definitely see G-Men picking a map like Quarantine for sure. Maybe they're not so sure what they're picking. It does seem like maybe they're talking it over a little bit.
I think we have our map pick in now. We have the blue screen. Time to figure out what map 2 will be. This could be a decider. Could not be, depending on how G-Men play. It's going to be Quarantine Night. Man, these night maps, man.
Are we going to see all
this
night
be
maps?
interesting. It's kind of become the meta now.
I mean, map 3 would be... I mean, it could be, you know, Rome's pick, and I know they like Downfall.
Maybe they're trying to do this to facilitate the shield. You know, the shield laser combo. What you thinking?
I'm thinking about how last time didn't we see Rome pick Marsoc, and now again we're seeing Rome picking Marsoc.
Oh, so maybe G-Men let Rome pick.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, I guess Rome is really just trying to bring out the night maps then, because they did choose Marsoc, which means that they chose map.
Typically.
G-Men gave up their map pick, let Rome pick, you know, kind of the, hey, we're good on all the maps.
And we are on the fuselage objective here.
Yeah, to start off, that's a rough objective to start.
Plenty of, yeah, there's plenty of angles to cap from. So if you get down to like being the last defender, it's really hard to defend.
we're going to see a little bit of a spread coming out from Rome off the get-go. G-Men will have... I'm sorry. We'll have a bit of spread from G-Men. Rome will have Crater spawn. And William's actually going to bring the shield this time. They're really trying to get those shield strats out. He's going to take some pot shots.
Yeah, I mean, I see G-Men, like, a Marisol Dev here, up here on top by the rooftop, and, like, if you turn a flashlight off, that is a dark spot.
Yeah, it is a pretty dark spot.
I don't know. You might be able to silhouette from, like, the buildings behind. I think
yeah,
the
buildings behind can definitely be a factor in that. Zach Fontaine's able to find Gladiator. No drone action tonight. Brass is able to find Man Bear Pig as well. Rome have been decimated off in the first minute of gameplay here.
I'm not seeing any kind of crazy flank from Rome. So it does look like all the forces are coming up on the north side here.
Yeah, it's like I think the whole force was definitely centered on a north push, trying to get that rooftop, be able to kind of stage some sort of an attack.
Yeah, just I say that, Lucky does seem to be flanking off here.
Yeah, I think he's trying to clear up the objective side, make sure none of the G-men are actually gonna flank them or do a counter flank. But I think G-men, they haven't really been too flanky with their defense. They've been holding their own even when they know that they could have flanked. They didn't. They just chose to hold their positions, hold good positions, and let the game do the rest. Zach Fontaine's able to find Lucky, so that flank will be done. Yeah. Poopachu's able to find Big Mike as well. Now we're down to the last member of Rome, and that would be William Dunce with the shield. He's on the tank. He's in a very interesting spot. Brastamouth is priming that C4. Oh, man. Will this... Oh, he messes it up. It lands right by him. Oh, and he messes up the grenade as well. He's got a... Oh, it's a flash. I think he just flashed himself. Now he has to hunker down. That is awkward. He's going to try to hold as low of a profile, hold William Dunce off as much as possible. But Zach Fontaine will be able to get that flank in and shut that down. G-Men will take the first point on map 2.
Yeah, that was tough. I mean, they kind of they sent everybody the same direction, and they just weren't able to dissolve that defense. They were in really good defensive positions and just worked out really well for the team.
Yeah, I think the 5-man push, it's definitely strength in numbers, being able to kind of find, being able to, having the refrag as an option, especially when you know that you're up against a much more skilled team, is definitely a good strategy to go about it. But Rome I don't know if they play aggressively, or if they are playing aggressively enough to really warrant a 5-man strategy.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of have to, like, run in.
The idea behind it is sending a lot of manpower that overwhelms the defense, but if you give the defense time to adapt to that kind of a push, they're going to quarantine you. Well, it's round 2 now. Rome are going to have to defend the corner objective. It's a very awkward objective to defend, but it is possible. Gladiator is going to be the vanguard of this defense. Look for any stray G-men that are going to pop under those tires. Couple shots there, as actually one member of Rome has also gotten pretty far out there. It's William Dunce. And the man will try to counter him as well on his approach. G-men are pretty spread out now, especially compared to Rome.
You know, just as we say no flankers from G-Men, I do see one.
Yeah, that is the man. He has the shield. It's definitely interesting sending a shield out on his own. Especially gets up against a team like Rome. They know how shield strats work. They know double up. A nade goes out from William. He does not have the distance to get anywhere near the shield, so no contest there.
Might be out on a reconnaissance mission. He's just trying to see what he can learn.
The man or William? The man, yeah, yeah, I can see that. He's definitely not looking aggressive. He's not holding a pistol like he's trying to go ahead and be a hero or anything. Amberpig's going to be able to find Zach Fontaine. The Poopju's able to find Gladiator. And now we go into what's effectively a 4v4 situation right now. Rome have the advantage because they can get the res out. I think Gladiator was shot back into a position where it's hard for Poopachu to get that confirm. Lucky AF will be able to find Brass to Mouth. And now Rome will have the advantage. He's going to get that confirm. Oh! He's actually going to find another one. So now Rome are effectively 4.5 strong versus 2. This is looking pretty good for a defense. For Rome to get their first point. Keep in mind, one of them is the shield on that south side.
Yeah, he's giving these call-outs, but Poopachu's so far away. There's not really he can do about it right now.
Yeah, and
I think the man just realized that it's just the two of them.
I'm pretty sure he's probably checked his tablet by now, but he's definitely doing some pretty crazy moves. And he doesn't really have backup. That backup's on the other side of the map, so it's not an easy situation for a shield guy.
All right, Big Mike gets that revive on the Gladiator, so now Rome's got a full squad.
Yeah, 5v2. It's definitely not in G-Man's favor with only 2 minutes remaining. Poopachu will be able to find one. No confirm needed. Now Rome only have 4 members. William's able to find the man. Now it's all up to Poopachu.
I may have gotten shield. I may have gotten shield in the middle.
Looks like he's going to try to rotate back to objective in order to reinforce it because he knows that Poopachu has to be near there by now. There's only 1 minute and 32 remaining.
Just looking at the defense here, they're pretty spread out. I mean, if he can deal with Lucky,
Big Mike.
He might be able to get up on objective.
Poopachu's able to find Big Mike.
Down.
And now there's only 3 members of Rome. They're pretty spread out, but they're in great places to defend.
It does look. Yeah, it does look like they're kind of closing in on him now that they know where he is and that there's only one.
Yeah, now the pinch is trying to come out from Rome here, trying to, you know, hold out Poopachu. He's going to try to fire, but he's just not able to land shots onto William. William has the shield. That's what's going on. So Poopachu only has 28 seconds left. I don't think so. The odds are stacking against him in his favor. He has a great spot, though, but he's too focused on that shield, and there are way too many lines on that.
Lucky rushes the roof.
Yeah, Lucky's able to find himself on the roof and finishes that off. And yeah, it was hard for Poopachu. He had what was it? It was like 4v1.
I think there was 3.
4v1 at one point. Yeah.
Oh, at one point, yeah.
So
Yeah.
he did very well given the circumstances, but obviously the numbers just don't add up. Rome will get their first point.
Yeah, definitely good to see. Maybe this map will be a little bit, back and forth. So far, we've had defensive wins.
Yeah, well, I think G-Men. Well, yeah, this round has definitely been biased toward the G-Men. I thought you meant Suburbia as well, but that's wrong. G-Men won on Mars, won every round.
Right, this map.
Well, we're going to have an objective switch up now. We're going to go into the tank courtyard.
This is another one of those objectives that, like, it's kind of hard to get close to, but once you do, you can kind of sneak a good cap in there. There's several different angles to cap from.
Yeah, you can cap behind the wall, you can cap behind the building. It's a nightmare to defend. We're gonna hop into what is round 3. We're going to see a very spread out defense from G-Men. Rome, on the other hand, looks like they're going to have a pretty hard push south side. 3 members. They're just taking their sweet time, trying to find picks before trying to make their way in. The man's going to take a couple shots right off the get-go. He has a couple people harassing him on the north side. We'll be lucky. Pikachu able to find William by ambulance. Now that south side push. Ooh, he got really aggressive. He was getting pretty close.
Yeah, Poochie's really pushing up here.
Oh, he's able to find Gladiator right by the plane wing. That frag did go a bit too far, but that was not needed as Pikachu was able to take him out with his gun alone. He's able to find Big Mike as well. An amazing double. The conference coming out of Miracle Dev is able to find Man Bear Pig, and Zach will be able to finish off with finding Lucky, and G-Men will take another Volk round. The Volk advantage has been very strong on map 2.
I think I heard you say something about no flanks.
Maybe.
We'll show you.
We'll show you, yeah. They're probably changing out from the 5-man push after that didn't go well, but G-Men are just a team that's very adaptable to any kind of situation and very fast acting. So no matter it's not the strategy, the way to beat G-Men is not in, it's granted. Here, let me explain this fully. There is a bit of it that is in that first 2 minutes that I like to talk about, the planning, the first 2 minutes where the plan can work. But after those 2 minutes are up, it also depends on the communication that your team has in order to be able to kind of formulate a plan without even like communicating it, just knowing what the plan is, knowing what your teammates are going to do and how to appropriately respond to that.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, I often say some of the newer teams, like, don't get discouraged because it takes like a season or 2 to even really become a team. Like G-Men's been around since what?
Season 1. They're one of the OG teams in Onward. Yeah. So they've had a couple lineup changes. They have some newer faces to their lineup this season. That aren't even Kijo. With the Pubichu is a newer pickup, but he's been around as well for a very long time. So I'm not surprised that he's doing exceptionally well. Zach Fontaine is former Phoenix. Miracle Dev was former Stone Cold Killer / SMC. So The face of G-Man has definitely changed since when I joined Season 4 when we had, like, Nightfire on there and Dak Hinman as well. So, despite that, they have progressed very effectively. And it's almost kind of the opposite of Global Cam, where for the longest time, they had a very stagnated lineup, you know. It's always Thunder, Otto, Pants, and Raphael. Oh, no, Raphael was actually a newer pickup as well. He was on a team called Insert Team Name. Or no, This Can't Be Blank. This Can't Be Blank. That's what it was. Going into round 4 now. Miracle Dev's able to find Gladiator straight off the bat. Going to try to go for those confirms. He will be able to get that now. Williams going to... Looks like he was trying to get a little peeky there, but opted not to do that. Oh, and Manbear with the single shot from the G3 is able to find Zach Fontaine. An amazing shot.
Yeah, I was just gonna say he's using this catwalk, which I don't see too often, but boy, it can be a nasty.
I've always
spot
known
to be in.
Manbear to go up here, and he's been extremely effective at doing that. It's really hard to see him when you kind of look at it from the other way. I'm going to turn off the... Like, if you look at it like that, and I'm also going to turn off the flashlight as well. Like, you see what I mean there. Like, it's really hard to see a Volk member on top of a catwalk like that. Some smokes are going to come out from the offense. And it looks like...
Yeah, I'm just looking at the main map, and G-Men have quite the wide
Oh, yeah.
spread here. And they are definitely taking their good old
Bit of a
sweet time
north
moving
bias there. One member in the south as well, so kind of all ends are covered. Getting across that those middle streets, though, are going to be the hardest part of this attack. And Rome have also opted for a very off of objective defense. They're just trying to cover the lanes that lead to the objective. Williams able to find the man. Probably brought a shield if...
He did. I really thought he was going to be able to sneak in there and kind of get behind the defense, but no, Williams
Yeah, with
said
how
no to
spread
that.
out G-Men there were, I don't think that would have really been possible for the man to do that. Poopachu and Lucky AF will trade. The res can come out onto Lucky. A Miracle Dev is completely ignoring the fact that Lucky probably just called him out. Oh no! Oh, Brass with the team
That's not
kill.
good.
We've talked about this before. Now a couple, are kind of making their way up. They're trying to control lanes.
Is he going to confirm Lucky? Really needs to. He's going to get called out. No, Brass not doing so.
Yeah, the Lucky's been really quiet. Oh, there comes the confirm.
There it is.
Even are only 2 members strong now. Brass is looking for a third, but he's not able to land that just yet. Now Manbear is going to try to find him one. He will be able to find a Miracle Dev.
Yeah, it's all up to Brass the Mouth to take out 3 remaining Rome. is a bit of a tall order.
He's on rooftop.
Now we got one member of Rome on the plane wing. That's such a good spot to hold. Kind of really, actually almost, we look at this right here. It covers the entire approach to that objective. It's such a good area to have. I'm surprised William rotated off of it, especially with the numbers that Rome have right now. It looks like
And brass them out. Doesn't even know how many times
Manbear has sighted him up.
Manbear picked.
Yep, well, he does now. Manbear is able to get that next pick.
Ties it up 2-2. Rome, fighting back a little harder on this map.
Yeah, no, Rome have definitely been have definitely felt a lot more comfortable, I think, in their own skin now on this map than they were on Suburbia. The night maps are a very interesting choice, though. It's worked for them. It has not worked for them. I think their communication has fallen off a little bit. I think both teams are a little bit out of their element right now, because we're seeing a lot more team killing than what we normally see on this level of play. It's really interesting kind of seeing how, just the direction that the sun is at can really change the strategy.
Yeah, absolutely. And this map, out of all the night maps, is one of the more lit ones. It has that real bright moon.
Yeah, it is a little bit brighter. It's not the brightest night map. Well, actually, I think it's kind of a tie between this and Tanker.
No, I think this one's brighter. Tanker has some artificial lighting, from the
Yeah,
ship
and
itself,
especially
but-
those interiors can definitely be of assistance. We're seeing a little bit more of a spread coming out from Rome as well. Not crazy. It's just all up in the north side, but they're not grouping up like they used to, at least in round one. Kind of covering each other's back, if I will say so.
Wait, this is not the drone. I don't know the drone.
Oh no. Gladiator forgot his drone.
Oh no!
I think he brought a rifleman. There's P5C there. Pikachu's gonna try to take some pre-fire up from the white car.
Yeah, one north wall. Brass, there was one crawling in the northeast, crawling all the way north.
It looks like Brass the Mouth is very keen on Lucky's position. Yes, he is.
Yeah, we see these teams kind of lock up in on each other, kind of being able to identify positions and kind of just monitoring them until, they're waiting for one to make a move, exposing themselves and capitalizing on it. Miracle Dev will be able to find William. He's able to call out the second member on that south side rotation perfectly well. That's really what makes G-Men, one of these top tier teams, is that they're able to kind of paint a picture for themselves of the battlefield.
Yeah, that's very important to do.
Through the poetry of communication. Of good communication.
Sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah.
Poetry.
More like haiku. Just keeps it short and simple.
Yeah.
Just without all the rules.
Other times it's
That's
just people
true.
yelling at each other.
Brass is gonna try to find Gladiator. Oh, you know why Gladiator wasn't able to bring a drone? He has a 249. That is not happening.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make him